all right. A very good evening to everybody. Your undefeated, undisputed Bells and Belts World Champions are back with you all after a 1 week absence, you lucky devils. Got Man Up and Joe. Did this fool change his name to Hall of Fame? Man Up is too early. It's too early. It's too early. It's too early. I swear it's too early. Joey, what's up, man?
I don't even want to know what Hall of Fame either. What Hall of Fame, but I don't even want to know.
Man Up, you got 30 seconds. Hall of Fame of what?
My man cave.
Joey, how are you, man? How you doing? How you feeling, man? I ain't got time for this nonsense so early.
Certainly better than last week. You know, everybody getting sick these days. It's just a change into the season. It's a rough time for everyone. So, you know, whether you're sick or well, I'm glad you're here. And you know, things ain't perfect, but they sure are better than last week. So I'll just leave it at that. But
exactly. So, and we hope you guys don't mind. Last week was like the first week that we took off in about a year, about 15 months. So we'll hope you all understand that. And what a great show to come back to, right, Joey?
Absolutely, man. I'm very excited about this. You know, we've been doing a lot more interviews lately, but none bigger than this one. So we're very excited to have a professional wrestler that I know a lot of our audience out there are fans of. She's been requested, and so she's gracious enough to join us here tonight. And I'm talking about a woman we've seen a lot on a lot of our different favorite wrestling shows. She's the current Memphis Wrestling, two-time Memphis Wrestling women's champion. It is the one and only DDT, Diana Taylor.
And there she is, the champ in the flesh.
Hey, everybody. How are you?
How are you doing?
I am wonderful.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We definitely appreciate the time here with us on Bells and Belts. We've been anticipating this interview a lot. So thanks again for the time.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so as always, we bring somebody on. We definitely want to get to know you. We definitely want to know what know about the wrestling grind, and we definitely want to tap into that. But one thing we always tend to start off with is your first wrestling experience, not necessarily in the ring, but like that, your introduction to wrestling itself. What in accordance with your wrestling journey, what was that like?
Okay, so when I first started, I was about 18, got into some trouble, started going to shows just to kind of get away from everything. I would go with my family. And then I started training at the same place I was going to shows.
Okay.
And that experience, because it was just a little tiny place. It was wonderful coming up. About 4 months in, I started doing matches.
Wow. And
being thrown in that quick was a struggle.
I would definitely say.
Yes.
Normally though, like when you're learning and whatnot, like there just when you think you know something, you get thrown into the mix, and it's definitely a reality check.
Yes.
So yeah. So all right. Man, real quick. Let's say hi. Let's say hi to some folks real quick. Then we go jump back into this. Okay.
Alrighty. Got Mendoza right here.
Out there.
We got Antonio Mendoza Craft.
Got him again. Alrighty. Generic.
Yeah, generic jobber. Yeah, we even got jobbers. Yeah.
Hello there, Nestor.
What are we doing here?
Like, I don't know. We are into some shenanigans.
And old head.
Here.
Got Ting King.
We got the chant going on. All right.
And
All
we
right.
got one question for you already.
There you go.
Already.
Go send it.
Were you a wrestling fan growing up?
Yes, very much so.
All
I
right.
would
Talk us through that. Yes.
So I would watch wrestling with my dad, the old WWF, WCW, ECW, all of that growing up.
Okay.
And then as I got older, I got into Ring of Honor, PWG.
Okay.
I still follow some today. It's mostly watching matches, not the in between.
Sure.
Yeah.
Good. Sure. Okay. Good deal.
Okay. Okay.
Looking at that, who were your early inspirations, like, as far as that got you really into it and made you even start thinking along the way about maybe I want to do this?
So starting out, it was more of the generic Trish, Lita, all of that.
Okay.
As we got in, it went more towards what was her name? Victoria.
Okay.
And then nowadays I do like to watch Bailey and Bianca Belair.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So those are your favorites today, Bianca and Bailey?
Yes.
Okay. Cool.
Nice.
All righty. So I'm gonna start off with a question for you. I'm gonna go back to your early days when you first started. You said you started your first match was 4 months after you started training.
Yeah.
Walk us through, how was you feeling when you first went out there for your first match?
I was terrified. I mean, I still have matches. I'm still terrified today.
And how long have you been in this today?
12 years.
Okay.
Nice.
It'll be 13 in November.
All right.
Okay. Great. All righty. Okay. And I think Cedric already put it on the screen, but
Yeah.
DDT is so down to earth.
Oh, thank you.
Including when she does the DDT, that's where your head goes down to the earth.
Exactly.
I mean, just saying.
Oh, man.
Man.
Go ahead, there, guys. Go ahead.
Joy.
Go ahead, Joey.
All right. So speaking of that, I guess going forward, tell us about, I guess, some of the early places you worked, I guess, and stuff like that prior to, because we know Memphis Wrestling, EPW, these kind of companies kind of came on a little
Right.
bit on in your journey.
So it all started at SPWA in Raymer, little bitty tiny place.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's in Tennessee. It's around Selmer and between Selmer and Corinth.
Yeah.
Okay.
TIWF in Trenton, Tennessee. I spent, I know, at least 5 years there. What are some other ones? There was Newbern, Dyersburg.
Yeah, we're talking about Dyersburg. Some of this. Oh man. I just remember this is years ago. Yeah, so the fans there were very, very hands-on. I was like, man, and it amazes you. Some of the towns you go to, especially in the deep South, you never know what you're going to get. Like, it's what the crowd is going to be like, because, we've had some situations. I don't know. Are you familiar with Monty Warbucks?
I've heard the name.
Yeah, he's a South Mississippi guy, but he was he got to the point where people were like stalking his girlfriend and like threatened him to where he had to like break character at a show. And I'm like, yeah, it can get real wild at some of these things.
It's still real to me, damn it.
And I'm guessing you're probably not unlike a lot of women in the business, where you probably came up wrestling a lot of guys, because there's not that many women in the wrestling business. There just never is in a given area.
So when I first started, it was me and one other girl.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure we worked each other every weekend for 2 years straight.
Dang. Wow.
And there was no interchanging with anybody. There was nobody else. It was just us.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. All right. So piggybacking off that, you said yeah, you said working with one person for the last 2 years. Talk about that adjustment when I was outside of that promotion. outside of wrestling her, and you started wrestling different other people? Talk about physically, mentally, because it's a lot. It really is.
Right. So it was an adjustment because I had gotten so used to working that one person. And every once in a while, there was BB, the Mississippi Queen BB, who would come in every now and then, and we'd work with her. She actually was one of the ones that helped train me coming up. But it was a big adjustment learning the difference between how other people work and how I was working with this one person, because everybody's different. But you can, after you've worked somebody for so long, you do have a tendency of working the same way every time.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to get away from that, but it's good to get away from that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The reps in the ring is definitely important. Reps with different people is even better. So,
yes.
Absolutely. T King, giving you your flowers tonight, man. I'm telling you, I love it. That cage match against Knicks was awesome. That is definitely that was a match that we took a look at during that watch along, and we definitely had high praise for that. When we look at matches like that with Knicks and whatnot, you all weren't afraid to lay it in there. It's like little details that like, wow. It's like when you get conditioned to seeing something on a national level a certain way, and see a match like y'all's in the cage, whatnot, it was definitely refreshing. So
thank you. That match was probably is one of my favorite ones that I've had. So probably my favorite match of last year. I've been in a few other cage matches. And
putting you on the spot, how many on top of your head? Putting you on the spot.
At a minimum 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that means you got some experience with it then.
Just a little bit.
Well, I'll tell you what I noticed about it, because you know full well from working Memphis Wrestling at EPW, there's a difference between working indies and then working TV.
Yes.
Like big difference.
So.
And EPW and Memphis Wrestling, and this is a shout out to Neil Taylor, tremendous production, tremendous TV products, and we know I know he's a big part of that, and that's shows you the genius there and the work. The level of TV being produced at these companies is a lot higher than the vast majority of, especially independent wrestling TV, you're going to see out there. And you guys in that cage match, you didn't have a long time.
No, not at all.
You guys got what you needed to. It looked wonderful. It's smooth, and it didn't look like y'all had to rush stuff to get it in there. It looked like y'all paced yourselves out, and it really came across well. And it's like that's a level that like a lot of people, especially on the indies, are missing. When you're given a time like that, and you have to stick by that, and you have to fit it in this, but you want to get your stuff in, but not get 50% of your stuff in by 80% into the match, and then have to shove everything else in there. It's like, man, that's an art to that. That's working. That's a different level than a lot of people are at.
Right. So with TV and like regular house shows, you're like you said, the time is different. The time you're allowed is different. And with working TV more often than I have house shows, I've kind of learned how to place things in the right times.
Yeah.
Within that time frame, that way nothing messes up.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So we definitely got more questions. I think we got some questions from the audience as well, I believe.
Oh yeah, we got several questions from the audience.
Some interesting ones. All right.
Yeah, let me get to one real quick here. All right. So, who is your dream opponent?
Right now, let's see.
it could be anybody from anywhere. It doesn't have to be anyone,
Right.
you know, anything like
But
that.
thinking of ones that I would like to, I'd have to say Masha Slamovich is one.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Probably
Okay.
the main one.
Okay.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Love that. Love that.
I got another one here. Why you always wear purple gear?
Purple's my color. It's my favorite color. It looks good on me.
I
I can't go wrong.
Yeah, and we kind of decorated the place, in honor of you coming on the show.
Yes.
So
Pull the background, yeah.
We all.
I'm just catching
I
on.
will say we are planning on different colors now.
okay. Are we now?
Yes.
Okay.
It is in the works.
Are you going to give us a little bit of a spoiler, or we got to wait for it?
I think you might want to wait for it.
Okay.
Okay.
I can
Now,
tell
Watching
you.
on YouTube.
I can tell you the tutu is not leaving. The tutu stays.
Oh, the
Yeah.
two stays. Okay.
Okay.
I love it.
Got one more question for you.
All
How
right.
many years does a cage match take off of you?
Thanks.
Wow.
A lot.
Oh wow.
I'm pretty sure my back ages at least 3 years with each time I'm thrown into a cage.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Piggybacking off of that, you've had some years in the business. What are some of the injuries that you have? They can be nagging stuff or stuff that's sidelined you.
I've been whiplashed once over the top rope. That's
Ooh.
one I still have. My neck stiffens up every now and then,
Ooh.
but yes.
Yeah. That's one thing I've had happen to me too one time.
Yeah.
It's not fun.
It's not fun at all.
If you ever have to go backwards over the top rope, because Lex Luger was talking about that spot at the '94 Rumble where Brett took him over, and he was talking about how freakishly scary it is to go backwards over the rope like that.
So I have never done that.
Not that I blame anybody for not wanting to do that, because
one, my height, I'm too short, honestly. Way too short.
Yeah.
We'd fall. That'd be it.
might have to go through the rope,
Right.
but still not back first. Like doesn't sound like a good idea.
Right. No.
I do see a lot more people going through the ropes instead of backwards over the rope. I mean, they still do some from time to time, but going through the ropes,
Yeah.
like I gotta agree with Joey.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I want to bring up this question here that Antonio brought up. What is the hardest part to learn in the ring? Rope work, mat work, promos, or making up a match on the fly when in the ring?
Okay, so for me, footwork was my biggest thing.
That is true. I'm glad you brought that up. Like that is one thing that a lot of folks like that. No one really talks about that one night. But if you don't have a sense of balance, if you don't have a sense of being able to move with your opponent
Right.
in the ring and whatnot, you can seriously cause some serious injuries on that front. So that not something likely at all.
And going along with footwork, like I had the bad habit of stutter stepping when I should have been taking longer strides instead of short steps.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's a good one there. Now, I want to ask you this one question. Kind of going back to your beginning. What was it like taking that first bump? Did you regret it? Did you say, "Oh man, I'm going full speed with this"? Did you ease up on me? I mean, what was it like for you?
So at first I did regret it, but I was like, I'm not going to put all this time and effort into something that I'm not going to do. So I just dealt with it. And eventually it got to where once I actually learned how to bump, it wasn't as bad.
Cool.
Now them first bumps were awful.
Did you hit your head too? It's
Yes.
That's the
A
That's
couple
all of
times.
the back
Yeah.
Tuck your chin.
Worst pain.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Tuck your chin. the basis. That's the basis,
That,
man.
that and if you're smacking an elbow a lot, that is awful too. Those- the elbows, man, the meat just ripping off your.
I think the elbow is worse than hitting the head.
It might be, yeah, just because of the burn of it right there, and you.
Got another one here for you. What has been your favorite match you wrestled?
Favorite one besides the cage match. The cage
Yeah.
has been one of my favorites for a while. Really, since it happened, let me think. I'd have to say it's the cage match.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's my favorite so far.
Okay.
She seemed to share that sentiment, and she was
Yep.
very much praising you about that too, and how much she enjoyed that, and how she really appreciated you as an opponent for that too. And it was, yeah, like I said, it was everything good come together. There was heat, there was everything coming together in that match to make it something special.
That match was at least 3 years in the making.
Yeah, that's what she told us.
Because we have been wrestling each other.
Yeah.
Memphis Wrestling, EPW Wrestling.
Yeah.
Speaking of Memphis Wrestling, I noticed behind you is a certain championship belt. Now it would.
Oh yeah, we got to see that.
We would not be bells and belts if we didn't have our guest who is a current champion to show off their championship belt. So please do. Yes,
this is it. I love it.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
See,
that was nice.
I saw everybody had their belts on earlier, and I was like, maybe I just need to have mine.
It would blow your mind, but we all know the maker who made that belt too. All the Memphis Wrestling belts.
All of them.
Yeah, it's the same maker that's making all of them now, but
the quality is good.
Yes.
Yeah. It's nice look. That's a nice looking design. Who is designing those? Is that Dustin or
I believe
or he got a graphic designer or something?
I'm not sure.
But
yeah.
But that is.
It is.
We got an offer on the table from Antonio Mendoza. He'll relay that belt to match your current outfit color. Antonio Mendoza does relay the work for all championship belts. So
we might have to talk about it.
Get a custom one made. Get a custom one made just for you.
Just for me.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah. So Memphis Wrestling now. Correct me if I'm wrong. Has it been around 4 or 5 years now?
So I know I've been there 3 or 4 years now.
Yeah.
We might.
I don't think it's been around a whole heck of a lot longer than that. I remember when it started out as Championship Wrestling from Memphis. They had the little bit different tweak of the name until Dustin, I think about a year in, Dustin changed that name and stuff. And which Memphis Wrestling is a lot easier to remember. And everybody, that's what we've all called USWA and CWA and all these companies. Well, just called it Memphis Wrestling over the years anyway. So it's like, that's smart. That's a smart idea. That's easy to remember. Everybody remembers it. So I guess tell us about a little bit about that experience too, because as far as looking, a lot of people are coming into Memphis Wrestling too. We're seeing a lot of new people come in, a lot of WWE ID prospects. They all want to be there. You got Gun Show in there still like yourself on top. You got some of y'all that have been around a while now in there, but it's the place to be. It's one of the places to be right now is Memphis Wrestling, and there's a lot of eyes on it and a lot of people coming in. Tell us about your experience of that from the time you started with them, how you've seen the company grow, Dustin Starr. Tell us some stuff about that.
So that one, when I first started with them, we had that snow and ice storm. So we were going to this little bitty banquet hall with low ceilings.
Oh.
And that's how it was for the first, I wouldn't say year, first 6 months maybe. And then they got the Wrestle Center, fixed everything up. It's been...
I watched the videos on that transformation too. That was incredible.
Yes.
That's a cool building.
Good deal. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
No. Also want to talk about how you started with with not as many people to wrestle, whatnot. I want you to just let's talk to us about the growth that you have seen in the time that you've been as you go from promotion to promotion, whatnot. The influx of new talent and whatnot, and what that means to you.
Okay, so with the influx of new talent.
Well, there's certainly a lot more women's wrestling in Memphis Wrestling now than there was.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. There is a lot more. There are a bunch of new babies coming up.
Sure.
And they are actually doing wonderfully. I've now found myself to be the veteran and helping and leading. And just seeing them come up and to be a help is special.
Absolutely.
Nice.
I'm sure on that stage too, and like Memphis Wrestling, especially, like it's kind of sink or swim there, especially if you're new. Like you're getting right into a TV product, you're getting there where people are on a different level and stuff. It's like you either got to hang or you're going to drown. Like
right, and they all hold themselves to a high standard, and sometimes which everybody's the same way. You hold yourself to a certain standard, and when you don't reach that standard, or if it doesn't go the way you want it to go, you get up.
Yeah.
You can be sad about it, but they also learn from that as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's like the human and human emotion. Of course you want to reach this point, and that kind of leads to this question here, because I was kind of thinking about this question here. They ask, where you see yourself in 10 years? Is there a main goal to be with a company?
So for me, the goal, you could have asked me 5 years ago, and the goal would have been to be with a main company. And I still have a little bit of that in me, but I also feel like my body hurts.
Sure. Yeah.
And some of the things, because I came up in the old school wrestling, like it was more of a strong style. Now it's all the flipping. And I'm terrified to be upside down.
Sure.
Yeah.
So,
I am branching out though.
Yeah.
Which is crazy now being 12 years in, and I'm doing more than I did 7 years ago.
Well, that's good. That's good though. That's good.
Do you see yourself potentially in the future continuing on, like training people, creative, doing creative aspects, production, type of stuff?
Got it.
That can always be a possibility.
Yeah.
Always a possibility.
Yeah, definitely.
Because that was just for the ask. Do you see yourself opening up a training school or something like of that nature? But Joey got it.
I don't know about that, but helping out, I'd be okay with that.
Because Memphis Wrestling is a training school too of itself, so there's lots of room. You don't have to start your own school. There's a lot to work with around that area and stuff. Here's another. Okay, I got an idea. I wrote like 20 words down, and I want to get your reaction to these, like word association.
Hold up. Joe, you know I got my graphic. We gonna play word up, y'all. All right.
I thought you said like bird up. I was like, all right. I'm just going to say a word, and whatever comes to your mind, you can take a second if you need to. Whatever you want to do, just kind of say what comes to your mind. All right. So this is just for you. Favorite.
My dog.
It's fair.
All
right. What about? Oh, yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah. What kind of dog is?
She is a pit mix.
Okay. And her name?
Yeah.
Lola.
Oh. Yeah. When I hear the name Lola, I think of big hair. I'm sorry. I just
what?
I'm sorry.
All right.
Hey, she had a word association. I had a visual representation. Whenever I hear Lola, I think of big hair. Don't judge me, man. Up. Don't judge me.
All right. All right. What about, here's another word for you, passion.
Wrestling.
Okay.
Okay.
King.
What word?
King. King. King.
King. What else are you gonna think? Jerry Waller.
Well, I don't know. You've been working with Derek, by God, greater than great.
That is true.
I know. He beat that into my head just watching the show every week. Give him credit, man. The recently retired. I guess is he actually retired, Derek?
As far as I know. I don't know.
Happened a
It
couple times in
changes.
Derek's career, though. So I'm like, you never know with him.
Not at
I'll
all.
pop back up in a few years, ready to have another match. I hope for his sake that he's happy and he moves. He's doing what he wants to do now and stuff. So, what about? Here's another word: mentor.
Mentor. Ooh. Don Bass.
All right.
Okay.
Queen.
Nix.
Okay.
That's fair. Heel.
Nix.
Even though I've been seeing her as a baby face now, I'm like, what the
I
heck?
know. She did it to herself. She turned herself baby.
Yeah. It's like, come on. Even at the cage match where she was still supposed to be the heel, it's like people were, you could see it. It was like, dang, man.
So they had been cheering her for a couple weeks before that.
Yeah. That's what I noticed. And it's like, crap. Guess she had no choice at that point. And then, y'all beat the hell out of each other, and it kind of gives the crowd more respect for both parties. So it's like, you can't help but get over in that circumstance, even if you are the heel. So it's like, all right. Well, I'll give you the opposite now. Babyface.
Me.
All right.
Fair enough.
I have been a baby face for the last 4 years. I haven't been able to do anything else.
Okay. Which one do you prefer?
I want to be heel.
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
I do. I'm advocating for it every day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you sell more gimmicks as a babyface, right? So it's like, that's the one thing. You got to cut down on your income a little bit, maybe possibly. Although nowadays he'll sell gimmick tables and stuff too.
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah. We had Papa Don on here, Greek God Papa Don, and he's a heel almost everywhere, and he's still pushing merch and got all these T-shirts and stuff too. And I'm just like, you can't. I mean, it's the hustle. You can't blame anybody for getting money like where they can, because you can't always count on your booking fee being what makes you the money.
Right.
So got to get it somewhere. All right, champion.
Champion. Me.
All right, that's fair. You have the belt.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we already talked about this, but now I got to say it anyway. Goal.
To be the best that I can be.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Nice.
All right. What about leader?
It's not me. Let's see. A leader.
That's kind of who comes off as a strong leader to you in the business and stuff.
Neil Taylor does.
Okay.
I'll give him that much.
Okay.
Fair enough. Yeah. Well, I don't know when he finds time to do anything else, because it seems like he's incredibly busy. So.
All the time. It never stops.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Wes Adams that's come up there a few times to Memphis and refereed and stuff.
Yeah.
He referee. He was talking about like he was blown away by Neil up there in Memphis Wrestling and stuff like that, and how smooth stuff is different that he's in there now and stuff. He was blown away. He was like, wow. So he was saying good things. He likes going up there when he can and stuff and doing a little bit, even though he doesn't really want to be in the wrestling business all the time anymore.
Right.
Heat.
Oh, can't really think of anything off of that one.
All right.
Okay.
What about success?
So there's a couple names that come to mind right off the bat between Nyx, Cassandra Golden, and Maddie the American Baddie.
Okay.
Because they've all gone off and they've done all these things. Nyx with SmackDown and all the things she's done with WWE. Cassandra and all her accomplishments. And Maddie with going to OVW and doing that all-women show.
Yeah.
Good.
Nice.
They are all wonderful.
Yeah. Kind of sounds like Papa Don too, talking about like he was, he came up with all these Ring of Honor guys in like the 2000s and stuff like that. And he's the one too, like he's kind of like, he's like, everybody I've ever worked with has gone on to the national stage too. He's like, he's the common denominator too. And it's like, you gotta like, hey, I'm here. like, it's like, yep, you're part of it too. So definitely you're part of that success too, though, because they don't get where they're going if it wasn't for working with you too. So that's part of it for sure. All right. What about legend?
Legend. Undertaker.
Okay.
Fair.
Okay.
All right. What about future?
Ooh, good one.
Maybe even as in like the future of wrestling as you see it.
I feel like the future of wrestling as I would see it, it's going to be tremendously great. With all the things these people are coming up with, different move sets, different ways of doing things. Like there's only one way, and that's up.
Yeah. Look at it, 12 years you've been in the wrestling, 12 plus years you've been in the wrestling business. It's a completely different wrestling business now. There's so many more places to work now and possibilities. When you came in, there was WWE, and then down here there was TNA and stuff like that. But there wasn't a lot of opportunities, and it's like now you don't even have to go to WWE or AEW or anywhere. There's so many different places to go now. It's crazy.
But on the flip side of that, and I'm trying not to be controversial when I say this, whatnot. It's great to have a lot of different places to work, whatnot. But if the art of working is lost upon as we continue to go in the wrestling business, whatnot, it is like even in this upper trajectory, if the essence of knowing how to work and the essence of knowing how to sell and whatnot, if that lost upon, is it truly an upward trajectory though?
I'll give you that, because if there's no psychology, then there is no wrestling.
Right.
It's just doing a bunch of stuff with no point to it.
What makes me want to come buy a ticket to a show? It's heat. Like there's got to be heat. There's got to be something, or there's got to be a reason for me to get there. And heat's a perfect example of it. But I know there's other ways to look at it. But it's like that's what I was complimenting about y'all's cage match too. There was heat. There was a reason to be invested in it and stuff like that. And it's like that's one of those things that I appreciate about Southern wrestling too. Is it's still based in, baby faces, heels, heat and stuff like that. There's a reason for that. But yeah, now, especially with you being that veteran and seeing these people come in, do you get a lot of new people in the business that want to emulate TV instead of like, let's get down to learning how to work? Yeah. Yeah.
Because they come in and they want to learn all these moves, and it's, how are we getting to this? How are we going to get there?
Exactly.
What are we trying to tell everybody?
Exactly. It's like I want to learn how to do a triple moonsault. I want to learn how to do. I want to learn how to do a dive. Oh, wonderful! Do you know how to lock up?
Yeah. I mean, yeah. That's what I say all the time. Just give me wrestling. Just give me some good chain wrestling, something. Give me a snapmare and a rear chin lock or something. Like, people don't even do that now. Like, give me an arm bar, give me an arm drag, something like that. It's like, good Lord, that kind of stuff right there is great. And what's the point of being able to hit a 630 senton if you're not even winning the match? But you see that all the time now. It's like a mid-match move now, and it's like, if somebody hits me with a 630 senton and I get up, there's something wrong. Like,
oh, got a question. Got a question. I popped in my head, and boom, Diane, how do you feel of the DDT being a transitional move instead of a finisher?
I'm upset.
I was talking to the guys about that, like, yeah, I think it was during the life long. It was like during Super Bowl. It was like the genesis of seeing the DDT as a transitional move as opposed
it's
to
like the Freebirds use it as a finisher, but in the next match somebody used it as a daggum. Like it was like, why are you going to do that when they were on the card using it as a finisher? Like,
yeah.
It's like the super kick now. Good Lord.
The way I see it,
I'll bring that one up.
The way I see it, nobody's DDT looks as good as mine. So they can take that and use it as their transition. But I know mine is good enough to be a finish.
Yeah. You kind of brought back hitting it out of nowhere, like the Jake the Snake type thing, Arn Anderson type thing, where you never knew where it was coming from. And we got that with Randy Orton in the RKO. But it's like, man, you kind of, like, I've watched some of your matches, and it's like, dang, the DDT sometimes just comes out of nowhere, and I love that.
Right.
Yeah.
And with you on the show, they know you're on the show. And how hard have you had to fight on cards to protect your move? Because I'm sure that you definitely run the gamut of those who've been in longer, and whatnot. So I'm sure that in itself could be a challenge.
So, like, with production of matches, like there are finishes that they will want that I will say no to, because why would I kill myself like that? Why would I kill off my finish in order? Because then what does it mean then? If it doesn't mean anything to you and it doesn't mean anything to me, then yeah, sure we can. But it means something to me.
Yeah.
It's
in your name, literally. It's DDT Diana Taylor.
It's the name.
It's like if somebody kicks out of it, it's like, what the hell? Like what are we doing? Like, where are we going with this? Like where do you go back with? Where do you go from there? It's like, and especially if it happens on TV, it's like, well, crap.
I'll just find another way to do the same thing.
Yeah, but it's like you said, it just shouldn't happen, because it's like, leave that alone. You kick out of something else, but not like
exactly. Like, be a little creative. There's different ways to get there, get there without using that particular move that you know. Just put it in context. Memphis Wrestling. If my women's champion finishing move is the DDT, let's protect our champion. And leave that for her. Instead of having 2 or 3 matches before her, everybody using the DDT in that match, it doesn't make sense. So yeah,
I get that.
Yeah,
definitely. But I don't. But there again, yeah, it's like, I think you're almost safe in that not a lot of people want to do it anyway. It's like they want to do the more complicated stuff, and it's like, bro, like even Raven with his DDT, I didn't really see people kick out of that either when he nailed that either. And it's like, it's like you don't have to do all this crazy stuff. Like it's great. It's like, but I'm sold on that. And it's like, it's great. It's like, yeah, but I get it. It's like, because everybody grew up watching WrestleMania, and at WrestleMania people kick out of each other's finishes, and then that started spilling on the other pay-per-views. and on the Raw and SmackDown, and it's like, oh dang, like what's the point of a finisher anymore? And it's like it's like it's gotten out of control. And then you got AEW with, God bless it for it, you have some wonderful people there, and then you get some that you're just like, what is this?
Right.
Like I'm captivated personally by Tony Storm's work as Timeless Tony Storm and all the stuff she's done and stuff. And it's, to me, some of the best character work in professional wrestling, period, woman or man. It's like her character work is untouchable, but it's like you look on that same Dynamite or whatever, and it's just nonsense. It's like, good Lord, like where's so we're not going to get further into that, but yeah.
Exactly.
It's like dang.
Absolutely. I definitely want to. I'm looking at your bio right now. Multiple time women's champion and featured on Heels on the Stars Network.
Yes.
Talk to us about that. How did that come about in that experience? I'm definitely eager to hear about that.
So that is where this lovely thing came from back here.
Okay.
That is one of my most prized possessions right now.
Nice.
Okay.
That came about, I believe it was Dustin had put in a few people for it, and then it let me know that I had gotten chosen. And it was a couple weeks trips back and forth to Atlanta to do. And this was, you had to have COVID testing. You had to have your vaccinations. You had to do all that, wear a mask. We had to go 1 week for a fitting, which this was before I fixed my gear. This was my gear that they decided to use because it was better than what they had. That was more costume-like gear instead of actual gear. So we used that. We added the wings that they had. And then it was, I want to say 2 or 3 days of filming. And it was, we would start at hair and makeup at like 6 o'clock in the morning and not be done until 1 o'clock the next morning.
Wow.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Nice.
But it was a fun experience. The only thing different was like you had to pantomime everything, which it was like a convention.
Okay.
So everybody was set up at gimmick tables, basically working out the things you would normally do at a gimmick table, giving away pictures, talking to people. But it was definitely an experience.
Good deal.
Yeah.
That's something I always wondered. Like when you get this type of gigs, do you get like your SAG after credits and stuff whatnot on that doing that, or
that I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't know too much about that kind of business.
Okay.
I just know how to act my part.
Okay.
Okay. So I got one for you too now.
All right.
Now that you're 12 years in, I know you said that your goal was to be on a main company. Now it's like, Now, what do you see yourself doing after your wrestling career is over?
That I'm not really sure. I mean, all I do now is work and wrestle. That's it.
Okay. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
It's hard too, because some people walk away from the business after a while, and some people are lifers. I make fun of Gary Wooldridge about that too. I was like, because he laughed about me being in the business for 10 years and then walking away. He's like, man, when you left the business, you left the business. And I was like, you're the lifer though, man. You're the one that's still here 25 years later.
Still here.
Yeah.
I guess it's just something
Lord,
in
man,
you.
those guys have been around.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it's just something in you. You're comfortable with doing this. This is what you know to do. But I know with wrestling, you can't keep doing it. Your body won't let you.
But I feel like if I wasn't wrestling like the way I am now, which I've learned how to wrestle to where I save my bumps.
Aha.
And I can work TV matches and maybe take one, if any.
Yeah.
So I may not. I've learned how to save myself on that one.
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
But if I'm not in it, like I still feel like I would be around it, possibly helping train, not actually training people. I'll help train them. Like I'll give them the knowledge that I know.
Yeah.
Because especially with girls, like most of these training places, girls work a lot differently.
Sure.
Oh, let's get into that. Why you say they work differently?
So, with the stigma of men already hit hard, men are strong, we have to work 10 times as hard just to be able to make our place in this business. All the strikes have to be harder. Everything's got to be faster. You have to be able to show that you are capable of doing this, because if the men don't believe you.
Exactly. It truly comes down to we love to use the match that you and Nick's had in the cage as a template for what right looks like. You have to do it do that little bit of extra and whatnot.
Right.
But also on piggybacking off of that, when you say everybody's trained, everybody is trained different. Some folks aren't trained right as well. So that in itself is a challenge as well. So I'm sure you've had an instance where you said like when you will have a person who said, "Oh, I've been in for 2 years," but it's like, okay, who trained you? And it's like, ooh.
How many matches did you work in that 2 years? If you worked
right, that's
6 times a year, okay. Like that is some people. They have like a match every month to 2 months, and it's like that's not really working 2 years.
I will say, well, I don't know if I can say, because I'll ask, how long did you train before you started working? And then, okay, what are some things that you can do? I'll get the basis of that, and it kind of makes it easier to work with ones that are like that.
Right, yeah. Especially when they listen and follow you and don't you don't have to.
And like if you keep it simple, you can't go wrong.
That's what I always say. I learned that lesson a long time ago. Kiss. Keep it simple, stupid.
Just saying.
It's wrestling. It doesn't have to be the most acrobatic and gymnastics competition or anything like that. It's like
because some people are just coming because they want to see somebody hit somebody. That's it.
Especially in Memphis and where around that area, people like you could. Me and Cedric talked about this before. You can come in there with all that stuff you saw on Ring of Honor and all this stuff like that. That is not what those people want down there. They don't want that. They want that more smash mouth style. They want to see somebody get punched. They want to see but they like that more classic wrestling style. They're into that. They still enjoy, a good heel and a good baby face. They enjoy that sort of thing. And you can win them over with that psychology and not have to do all this nonsense that they don't want to see anyway, really.
Yeah, exactly. Like you can get a reaction off of doing a dive off the top rope or do a dive through the ropes one night, but I'm sure you can get even better reaction having someone in an arm bar and you talking smack to that person in the front row and developing that connection. That goes a long way.
Very much so.
Look at Jazz starting out at ECW, being looking around. She's the only female there. It's like talking about having to hit hard, talking about having to like lay your stuff in to get noticed and stuff like that. I was like, that's why when she came up to WWF, she was a whole different breed up on that show, like compared to what they had. She was whooping some ass on there and stuff like that. It's like, yeah, she came up a little differently and like you're talking about, especially, I mean, it's the same way for y'all down there. It's like when you look around and it's a handful of women working all these different indies and stuff like that, but it's the same women. It's like, dang, it's like, yeah, you really have to do, and you have to reinvent yourself with those people and do different stuff. Cause it's like you talked about, they'll bring in women from different places. They'll do some stuff like that, but it's like, you're still looking at your core group there that you have to work next week with, and you have to figure something else out with. That's such a challenge. And, hey, but you guys do it well. You guys keep it interesting down there. And that's, again, a big difference from a lot of stuff you see elsewhere. There's y'all work hard down there. It does not go unnoticed by fans. Like it's definitely different. I'm trying to look at some of these comments out here too. I'm like, I can't even read. I need glasses.
While Joey's doing that, and we're coming up to the top of the hour. Go ahead and plug your social media and where you're gonna be appearing within the next couple of weeks.
All right. So you can find me at DDT Diana Taylor on Facebook or at Diana Taylor DDT on Instagram. So this weekend I will be at VIP Championship Wrestling at Tupelo Con in Tupelo, Mississippi.
Okay.
Awesome.
March 22nd, I believe, is an EPW TV taping.
Okay.
And then we've got a Memphis TV taping coming up at the end of the month. So each one's going to be a good time. We do have Vicky Guerrero coming this weekend.
Nice.
So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah, between Memphis and EPW, there's a lot of different stars coming into. I've seen Tom Latimer and Camille coming into EPW, that the NWA World's Heavyweight Champion. It's like and that's just one example of who's coming in all these places. So by all means, like if you're like a lot of us who don't live local to there, it's all on YouTube. You can watch
it
all
amazing.
All on YouTube.
It's all there. You can watch
both shows every week. Get a lot of wrestling for free. Don't even have to pay for it. So there's no excuse not to catch it.
Absolutely. And they're both decent quality shows.
Yes.
Oh, for sure.
From the production to the talent.
Absolutely.
Memphis is getting a lot of attention from that WWEID program too, and a lot of different talents coming through. We've seen coming in there, so there's going to be definitely, I can foresee just from the fan perspective in the future, it's only going to get bigger and better, and there's probably going to be a lot more happening down there. So definitely something to keep your eye on.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, Diana, again, we absolutely thank you for the time. You have been absolutely amazing. But now we definitely appreciate you sharing your journey with us as well. If you guys are watching this, make sure you give her a like, give her a follow on her social media as aforementioned. Diana, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank y'all for having me. I enjoyed it.
Absolutely. As always, guys, we definitely would appreciate you continue to follow and like everything that we do here at Bells and Belts. We ask that you continue to support us on all of our social medias as well. Stay tuned on Sundays when we do our watch alongs. We may give you notice. We may give you a 2-hour notice. We have a great time, and we watch awesome matches like DDT Diana Taylor versus Nixon in a steel cage, and just having a good time. So for our guests, for Joey, for Man Up, I'm your boy Cedric D, and we will see you guys here next week here on Bells and Belts.
Yeah.